The Bucks, Damian Lillard, who's been sidelined since March 18th with a blood clot in his right calf, will play tonight in Game 2 against the Pacers. That according to Shams. Incredible news. Stephen A., the Bucks getting a major boost with Dame back. Can the Bucks win this series with a healthy Dame?
Hell yes, they can. But I don't care about that right now. What I care is this is what I love about basketball. This is what it's all about, baby. This man, Dame Lillard, is sitting on the bench. We know who Dame Dollar is. We know what Dame Time stands for. And his brother was on the bench, okay, chirping at Halliburton because they don't like each other, or at least on the basketball court. And Damian Lillard looked him in the face and said, I'm going to bust your ass. Everybody went talking about fighting, even though Dame got hands. They weren't talking about that. He was talking about what he's going to do on the basketball court. And I said to myself, he ain't opening his mouth like that if he ain't planning on coming back. And then Shannon alluded to that yesterday. And sure enough, Shay, what happened? The brother announced he's coming. You see, this is what makes Dame special. Now, if you're one of those dudes that you sitting on the bench and you know you out for the season and you talking, then we're annoyed with you.
Yeah,
but he said it. He said what he said, knowing he had every intention of coming back for Game 2. And here he is. This series is now special, ladies and gentlemen. It's can't miss television. Dame against Halliburton and those brothers, because Indiana can ball. And they're going to bring it. They ain't scared of nobody, but neither is Dame. I can't wait. Lord have mercy. This is what I like to see in the sport of basketball. That right there, I can't wait.
All right, we're all fired up for that one. Great to have Dame back, and we'll certainly be watching that tonight. In other news, Luka Doncic and the Lakers also played tonight. And meanwhile, their former team, the Mavericks, watch from home. And general manager Nico Harrison continues to defend one of the more controversial trades in sports history. Yesterday, he answered the media, had some difficult questions for him, and raised many eyebrows as he further tries to justify moving on from Luka.
Did the anger and outrage from the fan base, has that exceeded what you were kind of planning for?
Yeah, good question. I did know that Luka was important to the fan base. I didn't quite know it to what level, but really the way we looked at it is, you know, if you're putting a team on the floor that's Kyrie, Clay, PJ, Anthony Davis, and Lively, we feel that's a championship caliber team, and we would have been winning at a high level. I did some of the outrage.
Why shouldn't you be fired?
Well, one, I think I've done a really good job here, and I don't think I can be judged by the injuries this year. You have to judge from totality, from beginning to end, and so I think I have a really good working relationship with Patrick. I think you add in Rick. The leadership that we have is really elite, and you'll see next year when our team comes back, we're going to be competing for a championship.
Marcus, is Nico taking too much heat for this trade?
He's been taking too much heat. I know, Stephen A. told me earlier, like he had 6 or 7 guys text him and say, hey, this was his decision. I'm still not rolling with that. Like, he's not the guy. There's no way that he's the only person that make this decision that goes through him. It doesn't happen that way. And the one thing that's like bothering me a little bit more, and I have to say this, Nico, you made the trade. My brother, it's over with. Don't go and start to sound a little bit emotional, a little bit down, and, oh man, I didn't understand. Like, it's done, my brother, it's done. Talk about the future. You did it, stand on it, and that's it. I don't believe you still made that trade. You still had to go to upper management. But the way that you're portraying yourself is like you're a little bit sad about this. You made the trade. It's over and done. Stand on what you did and continue to move forward and talk about next season. Give them some type of hope, because right now, this is just going to get talked about until the Lakers are either out or win the championship. And if that happens, it's going to get even worse.
Well, Marcus, let me be very, very clear. Let's not get confused with me telling you what people are telling me and you thinking I believe it. I'm telling you right now, that's what they saying. Yeah. I ain't buying it, just like you ain't buying it. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't even
you're an owner, right? You're an owner. Now, here's what I believe here, because I've been told this as well. J. Kidd was tired of the Team Luka BS, to quote somebody. Jason Kidd was tired of that. Went to Nico about how he was tired of it. And then Nico went to ownership and was like, yo, this is what I'm willing to do, because the ownership was like, yo, why are we going to pay this man $345 million? If y'all complaining about the power and dominion he has over the franchise now, well, what is he going to have after we give him $345 million? So again, we know it all comes down to ownership, because if ownership don't want it to happen, it ain't happening. Nico answers to somebody. I guess what we're really trying to crystallize is that somebody in Nico's position should not have wanted to give up on a 25-year-old global iconic basketball superstar. That's basically what we're saying.
Exactly.
But in the end, we all know that it comes down to ownership, because if ownership says no, it don't matter what Jason Kidd said. It doesn't matter what Nico Harrison said. And remember, Jay Kidd and ownership because of the position that they're in, and Jay Kidd because he's the Hall of Famer who happens to be the coach who helped Nico get the job in Dallas to begin with. All of those things play a role. But in the end, what it comes down to is this. Nico ain't lying when he says we got a team that can compete for a championship if they're healthy. The problem is, when are they healthy? It's rare that Anthony Davis, the last couple of years he's been healthy. Kyrie was healthy last year, but injuries and stuff like that have happened. How can you have a future where you're not anticipating that could derail you? And that's the kind of stuff that we got to think about. He just needs to stop talking about it. Like you said, stand on it. You did it. Move forward. Because when you open your mouth and say, you did not know the fan base, how much love they have for Luka Doncic. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he said. For him to say that, everything else he said is right and as substantive as it may be, does not matter. He seems tone deaf. And that is very, very bad for somebody from his background to utter those words out of his mouth. He didn't know how much they loved him. Where the hell have you been living, under a rock? Come on now.
I think it's a situation where, guys, we like to spend money, but there's nothing better than spending somebody else's money. And Judge Nico Harrison, that's not your money. Yeah. So if Josh Dumont, whose family is worth $18, $20 billion, Stephen A., ain't got to do with me. I ain't getting off it. He's 26. As a matter of fact, if they call the man drunk and whatever, I'll bring him a pint. I have a hookah lounge built in American Airlines Arena or wherever the Dallas Mavericks play. They ain't got to do with me. You keep dropping 28-8. I got you. I got you, Stephen A. Stephen A., my grandma used to say, boy, all the time, if you stare up old ish, it still smells. Nico, let it go. It's over now. You not. Even if you gave up, say, well, I tell you what we'll do. We'll trade you AD and Kyrie back. The Lakers still wouldn't trade you Luka back because they understand what Luka is in that market. Guess what, Stephen A.? It's the first time in NBA history a foreign-born player has the #1 selling jersey. And it happens to be who, Stephen A.? Luka Doncic, who plays for the Lakers. And the Lakers have always done this. They've always found a way to get a franchise-altering or a big name. It started with Wilt. It went to Querim. It went to Shaq. They traded and got Kobe. LeBron came. And now they got Luka Doncic in L.A. Why you think Shohei went to the Dodgers?